All right, folks, we have a lot to break down and unpack in this video. Thanks for tuning in. Right off the rip, I want to ask you all a question. Please comment your answers down below. Do you think silver will hit $50? And if so, when and why? I'd love to spark this conversation in the comment section. And folks, if you enjoy silver news and want to be updated on a daily basis, which you should be, you cannot be blindly stacking and investing, especially in today's day and age, then make sure you click subscribe. You've come to the right place. So, believe it or not, this first article is from Bitcoin.com. The mining company CEO claims silver deficit is growing and institutions might drive prices higher, which is a very big thing to look at. When institutions, when big industry, tech companies realize the severity of the silver shortage and realizing if they don't get enough of it right now, that their cost of production will skyrocket, and that's if they even have the capabilities of getting the silver, regardless of what the price is, that's when silver's true value could shine. So, and by the way, that time is quickly arising. The second article is from silverseek.com, the silver guru. Bullish and bearish trends in the silver market. Just put things into perspective, look at both sides of the coin, pun intended. So folks, make sure you like this video if you like the video. I also wanted to mention something else real quick. Miles Franklin has 1 ounce gold maples for only $65 over spot, 2024 silver Britannias for $3.29 over spot, silver half dollars 90% for only $2.50 over spot, and 10th ounce gold eagles for only $39 over melt. We have weekly discounts. Every single week, we have great prices. You can email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. I'd be happy to help. By the way, folks, I appreciate you sitting through those offers. I'm just trying to help people have a safe, reliable, cheap place to be able to purchase from. So let's revert back to this article, which is talking about this mining company CEO, which is Keith Neumeyer, which I really do love. I respect him so much, claiming silver deficit is growing and institutions might drive prices higher. Keith Neumeyer, CEO of First Majestic Silver, a Canada-based mining company, discussed the silver production deficit in today's special or precious metals market. Neumeyer stated that while retail investors are interested in silver, institutions have to enter the market, supporting the activity of these extractive companies needed for many industrial purposes. And this is what there's a saying I've been using for many years now. When the producers turn into the consumers and the consumers turn into the producers, that's when silver's price could skyrocket. The people like you and I will be able to sell to the people that need it. See, we just want it, they need it. If you want the newest, latest iPhone to come out, you better hope that they need it. I mean, these companies need it. People like Elon Musk need it. We don't need it. We don't have a tech company that is reliant on silver. They do. So when the tables are turned, he who has the silver can set the price, just like he who has the gold makes the rules, right? That's when the tables will turn. They will be willing to pay any price because they need it. So right now, silver prices are poised to rise if institutions enter the market. It's not if, it's when. They have to. Like I said, if Elon wants Teslas to continue to be produced, if, you know, Apple wants the newest, latest iPhone to come out, which happens like every 3-4 months, then you better hope that they want silver. I mean, and they better get it now or their cost of production will completely go through the roof. I mean, if they're getting silver right now at $25-$30 and silver hits 100, that's 3 times. That's 3 to 4 times their, you know, what they would have to be paying right now. And Mike Maloney actually sent an open letter to Elon Musk telling him about this. He actually did the math for Elon, mentioning how many Teslas he says he wants to produce by the year 2030, and broke down the numbers for Elon. And Elon actually thanked Mike for that open letter. But anyways, with the recent upside in gold prices, silver is another precious metal in the sights of retail investors. Keith Neumeyer, CEO of First Majestic Silver, said that right now, the current state of the silver market and how its price should be around $70 an ounce. In an interview, Neumeyer stated that there is a looming deficit surrounding the silver market, about 240 million ounces, just this year, by the way, and a hole that might create a supply crunch soon. That's just this year. The last 4 years, we've had a deficit of 770 million ounces in the red. That's a deficit of 770 million ounces. Imagine in like 5 years, we'd be talking several billion ounces in the red. Where are we? You can't just magically pull silver out of the ground. One, it's a byproduct, and two, it's getting harder and harder to find. There's only so much silver in the Earth's crust. Remember, silver got here from meteors and asteroids and comets. It's not made in the Earth's mantle. This stuff got here from meteors. There's only so much. So the mining sector only produces around 850 million ounces a year. You're in a 240 million ounce deficit. No wonder why we have $30 silver. It should be around $50, $60, or $70. For Neumeier, this relative price increase lag has two reasons behind it. The first one has to do with price manipulation that traders who only see silver and other commodities as numbers on a screen can exert. And that's a good point. I'm glad he brought up price manipulation because most people, especially that own a company, will ignore that and actually a lot of times deny it. He explains that breakouts are taken as sell or purchase signals and that these traders act without considering silver for its true value as a commodity relevant for industrial purposes. And yeah, you'll see that a lot. They look at it the same thing as a stock, not realizing that there's value beyond just that number on the screen. The second reason is the relative absence of institutional interest and investment in silver. Now that's where a lot of the potential lies. Neumeier stated that retail investors are part of the market and that they sell a lot of metal to retail investors, and these big institutions should be supporting this sector for extractive purposes because we need these metals, yet they're void. They're not in this market at all, he stressed. Other analysts have also foreseen an upcoming increase in silver prices. Recently, Peter Schiff stated that soon $50 would be the floor on silver prices, highlighting the precious metal's strong performance and forecasting it could go even higher. So, he's saying the floor is 50. Now, that's why in the intro I asked you, when do you think silver will hit 50? Because of Peter Schiff stating that this $50 level would be the floor soon. Now, let's jump into this article, the Silver Guru and the bullish and bearish trends in the silver market, and I think it'll be pretty interesting. We're not going to watch the video. It's 14 minutes long. If you guys wanted to check it out, you can. This was written a couple days ago from silverseek.com. So, gold has continued to consolidate at higher levels this week, above the psychologically important $2,400 level. This on the back of markets starting to price in an interest rate cut in September, or for the U.S. in September. Now, data released on Thursday showed central banks are continuing to add their gold reserves, despite the largest consumer, the People Bank of China, seizing gold purchases for the last 2 months. Citibank, on a note released yesterday, sees central bank demand continuing over the second half of the year to reach 1,100 tons, which would be 5.8% over last year. Citibank's forecast for gold is 2,600 in 2024. It's not every day you get to speak to a guru, but that's who I found myself speaking to earlier this week, and it was none other than the silver guru himself, David Morgan. David's been a friend of Goldcore for a long time now, and for good reason. He's an absolute gent and always has some fantastic information and comments about silver markets. Our conversation was so interesting that we split it into 2 parts. Today, we bring you part 1. In this first half, David and I discussed the bullish and bearish trends in the silver market. A lot of people are curious to understand the silver price of late. David has some useful insights. He touches on the emotional nature of investing in silver with a particular mention of those who perhaps sell too early and regret it. Now, I want to pause here for a second because that is so true, and once again, I feel like not enough people talk about. One word he said a little bit ago was the psychologically important $2,400 level. Psychology plays a lot into investing because psychology is decision making, your perception. Now, let's say there's 2 different types of stackers. One stacker that is cool, calm, collect, meditate, not you don't meditate, just someone who's very optimistic, plays it cool, steps back, learns how to detach himself. But then there's another investor who's very, frantic, very, just always on edge, always anxious, looking into the fear, doom, and gloom, and always just, very, sporadic and emotional. Which one of those two investors do you think is going to be more successful? Of course, the first guy, right? The first guy, definitely. 10 out of 10 times. When you learn how to invest with your head, not your heart, it makes it a lot easier. That's why impulse buying and panic selling is a real thing. And that's why these levels, like the psychological $30 resistance level, is so important. Even if it's $29.99, it looks a lot cheaper than $30. A 1 penny difference. That's why Walmart will price things $19.99 and not $20, because just seeing the number 19 looks a lot cheaper. So, you got to remember that. Or if you have very stressful things going on at home, maybe with your family or wife or whatever, that could play a huge role, because it's all perception, it's all decision making. And that, unfortunately, that can burn a lot of people, definitely, in today's day and age with so much happening. Like he said, you sell too early and regret it. So particularly interesting to many of you will be the divergence we are seeing between the demand drivers for silver, industrial, and monetary. I asked David if industrial demand is now significantly more prominent than demand for its role as a precious metal, and it's overshadowing it completely. And what do you think? What do you think the 2024 presidential election could mean for silver demand? Here, David offers some interesting insights from his experience during the Trump era. Let us know your thoughts. And yeah, please let me know your thoughts. They also finished the interview discussing silver miners. What a curious ride that's been. Davis gives us some thoughts, but stay tuned for part 2. So yeah, you guys can check this out. I would love to watch this type of stuff, but it's very long. If it was just a little clip, then I would. Sometimes I'll watch videos all the way through. I think if I start live streaming more, that's when I will. That's when I think I would start watching, or I guess start, covering things like this, or watching an entire seminar or longer interviews. If you guys do want me to start live streaming, let me know. So, yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'll probably cover this one next. This video is already pretty long, so, I don't want to make it too crazy, but just to recap a little bit, we have Keith Neumeyer mentioning silver should be $70 when big tech, when industry reaches into the silver market. That could be huge. Peter Schiff calls $50 on the floor of pricing. And we have the last article with the silver guru, David Morgan himself. You guys can check that out. Now, I also have a secret silver society, which is a membership for silver stackers. Each stacker gets an opportunity to win silver every month. Every single month we do a silver raffle. So you're part of a secret club. The members discussion board is so fun. We're all live in there talking about different things and silver miners and the best silver to buy right now and all that. So it's like a live discussion board, but every member also has this exciting part of the month where everyone gets a chance to win. I put everyone's raffle tickets in a bucket. I go live on July 31st, which will be the first one. I'm going to go live on Patreon and pull the winner's name. And it's just going to be really cool. And since there's only like 20 members in there, you have a much higher chance of winning compared to my actual channel giveaways where thousands of people enter. So yeah, I'll also be doing other things on there like Patreon only videos and some other perks, but it's just a way to support the channel. I'll also be able to have like a more individualized discussion with me, since I can't really offer that on YouTube. So yeah, anyways, I love you all. Make sure to check out these articles or that interview with David Morgan. And also, if you wanted to purchase silver, email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 485-6172, and I would be happy to help. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys later today or tomorrow. Peace.